meanwhile, Baylor coming off a not so close game. And I can't remember the number of times we've heard Dave Aranda say that the film was humbling and frustrating to watch. I feel like that's how every Monday press conference starts. Um, we've talked a lot this season about Aranda and his coaching staff and their status and their performances. But is it possible that Baylor just isn't talented enough, that they don't have enough players? And how much do things like the transfer portal, NIL, what do those play into that?
Yeah, I mean it's huge, right? And like at least Aranda admitted that he was kind of wrong in not going into the transfer portal sooner. And this year, he had like 13 new players from the transfer portal, some key players like Mike Smith, who is out for the year, the Barrington brothers on the offensive line, who, the offensive line story has been told. So yeah, I think it's hard for players to transfer to a spot like Baylor. And I think because of the NIL situation, I look at like Texas Tech. I know Texas Tech isn't having the season that I think that Joey McGuire and they hoped for, but the collective there, the NIL opportunity at Texas Tech, you just being on the team, regardless of how you're doing, you're kind of guaranteed a certain amount of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that about Baylor. I know Blake Shapen has an NIL deal with Friendlies, right? But that's the only one off the top of my head that I can really think of, in terms of NIL. So I think that Baylor is really falling behind in that category. And, Dave Aranda is trying to catch up in the transfer portal, but already behind in NIL. And, that's a tough hill to climb, especially in today's kind of ultra competitive top tier Big 12. So
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's probably something that, Baylor will have to address, and I mean, you just have to, I guess, tap into money people. I mean, it's interesting, for years, athletic directors would hit up donors and fund boosters for money for facilities. Well,
right.
now, now it's different. Now you
Now it's
gotta,
players.
yeah, it's players. I mean, you want to win. I mean, I'm not saying forget about facilities, but I mean, really, it probably should start with NIL in today's game.
And it's going to be just as hard for Baylor to keep the freshmen that they have, right? Because there's a lot of freshmen that are, performing. Dawson Pendergrass, Caden Jenkins. Caden Jenkins, I think last night tweeted just very cryptically, respect my decision. That was the tweet, right? And so Baylor Twitter and kind of you know, the world at large kind of, you can read that in so many different ways. What decision is he making? Is he deciding whether he wants to go to Chipotle, or, is he deciding if he wants to leave Waco altogether? So like what decision are we respecting, Caden Jenkins? So
Mm.
it's just, I think it's all going to start piling up, especially these last couple weeks, and it's going to be just as difficult to keep players as it is to get new players.
Yeah, it's a strange new world of college football, and Baylor's trying to figure out how to navigate that. So